Today we're taking a look at a piano composition titled O2-24-2025. It's titled by the date it was composed. And this particular composition is a teaching piece, so similar to what an etude or a study would be, suitable for a late beginner, early intermediate piano student, in my studio anyway. The piece of music is fairly representative of a 16th century Baroque minuet. It's in 3/4 time. B's are flat, so it's in the key of F. It's actually in the key of D minor. And the melodic feature that is reoccurring or sort of thematic to the piece is a motif from a D minor harmonic scale, opening passage. So it utilizes, this is D, utilizes that C sharp, which is the raised 7th degree of a D minor harmonic scale. So there's a theory component to it, which for students who are late beginners, early intermediate, is probably pretty timely. In the left hand, other than in the opening bar, it is all octaves, which helps the student in that at that stage of their playing get used to successfully and consistently getting the octave shape in their hand. One feature of the composition is it toggles back and forth between those octaves in the left hand being written in the bass clef and written in treble clef. A fair amount of care has been taken in making sure that that doesn't become a confusing feature of the piece, and is actually a feature of the piece whereby those octaves, as they move up and down, are being written in the clef that makes them easiest to read and represents them the best. It's a handwritten transcription, but fairly tidy. And I like teaching from handwritten transcriptions every so often because they help students who are at that stage of their playing get accustomed to reading something that's handwritten and not always counting on the piece of music being typed. They'll have to read something handwritten if they play for a lifetime, even if it's just their own handwritten transcriptions of something that maybe they compose. In this video, there will be a section of it afterwards, after this introduction, I should say, that where the camera's on the keys, and I walk through the piece right hand only with counting out loud, left hand only and counting out loud, and then a third section where I play it hands together and counting out loud. Some of the other features of the piece are there's some modulations in it that are very contemporary, so it's not just representative of a 16th century Baroque minuet, and it has a Picardy third at the top of the second page and a Picardy cadence in the bottom. And what I mean by that is that it shifts to D major from D minor in both those locations, and has a D major chord that it resolves on, which gives it a nice uplifting feel to it. Students who take lessons here get a copy of the transcription and lots of help to go through it. So enjoy. Okay, we're going to start with the right hand. Count in will be 1 and 2 and 3 and a single bar. Here we go. Right hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, and 3. Okay, now we'll have a look at the left hand. Count in again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Now we're going to play the hands together. Count them be 1 and 2 and 3 and here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 2 and 3.